Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Good evening.
How is everybody?
Doing well.
Good evening, doing well.
Hey, doing well. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
How are you doing?
Best day of my life. I'm not feeling too good, but that's all right. As we're here. Yes, indeed. So thanks to everyone who came out or live streamed last Friday as Ballin' with a Purpose did wrap up. It was a championship game and was a very good game at that. And so 4 Elite emerged as the first ever champions after a 15-point comeback in the second half. Very electric atmosphere. And we also, Marvin Arrington, Commissioner Arrington did contact us, and there was and gave some book bags to, I think it was 3 and 4 year olds or first and second and third graders. And so that was a nice little add on, and had the championship and ring ceremony. Very eventful, very fulfilling. And then also too, the next day they had the carnival at Creel Park. And thanks to everybody who came out there, my colleague, Mayor Pro Tem Natasha Williams Brown, Parks Rex did an excellent job. And July is officially now Parks and Recs month. And, just look for more exciting things to come about. As I just have to keep mentioning this again and again, is through the program of the Workforce Academy, it's the first ever and only one in the nation. Again, the first and only in the nation to have happened through a Parks and Recs right here in the city of South Fulton, District 5. Area with the highest crime rate. And so the things that we're doing is effective. We just need, I could wish for all the support in the world, but I'll take it gradually as it is. And so metrics and numbers don't lie. And, we're going to continue on down the path and keep doing what we're doing. As that's instant history, City of South Fulton, first in the nation. And the graduation took place at the field. And I want to take everyone back to not this past Friday, Friday before last. I want you to just, for me personally, that while I'm going to continue down the path that I'm continuing down and just keep moving in the direction as I'm led, is because the certificate graduation took place at the field. And it was I think the ceremony was supposed to start at 6:30. We started about 6:45. More because I was just getting there at 6:45. Just a lot of things was going on. But however, it rained. I don't know, everybody remember it. It rained everywhere except the area where the certificate graduation was held. Facts is everywhere else in the metro area during that time except that area, it downpoured. And then when it was over, rain came down, and the musical celebration, or the reception with the musical celebration, live music celebration, went on. And so they performed anyway. It was a great band. They did it for free. And so shouts out to America Sutton and the Love Tribe Band. But ladies and gentlemen, history has been made and established right here in the city of South Fulton, and first in the nation. And so other counties have and other cities have already started reaching out, want to emulate the program in its entirety. And so I think that being a blueprint is something that we all certainly can be proud of, because it's a definite collective effort uh, to all who was involved. And I'm just saying that, uh, and I'm absolutely 100% proud of it. I mean, it took a long time to reach to the point, but staying the course is worth it every single minute. And lives have been changed, and have been affected in this community, in this city, and more people are yearning for more, as more is coming. We have the low voltage class is going to be actually now on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and the carpentry class is going to be taking place at Creel Park, and that's coming in October. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all part of change. Get this, we're changing the world here. And, thank you, Ms. Branch. I thank you for coming out too. And everybody who was there, everybody who came out is a part of history, because I'm taking this to the Smithsonian, y'all. Y'all have, as I want this nationally recognized, because it should be. And so as it's a lot of behind the scenes work. Tamika will tell you, there's a lot of moving pieces, a lot of challenges, but we overcame those challenges one by one. And so to reach this point, this pinnacle is awesome, because we just acquired this field now, as we signed a deal last year in October. But that was 3 years in the works, right? And so, but now it's an instant landmark. And it's about land preservation and conservation. So we'll forever have that through the life of this city, National Registry. And I'm super proud of my team. I mean, Shamiko, It's Electric, Parks and Recs. I mean, this is just Henry Bourne. He's the CEO of It's Electric. And, this little light of mine. And so we gonna let this little light shine, because it's gonna shine bright. And I think that this is something the city can definitely be proud of and hang their head on. And I hope y'all communicate that and let that be known, because I'm sure gonna tell it each and every day. And so we move forward, because we ain't done yet now. I mean, this is just the start. We're nowhere near finished, but it's a journey. And so as the journey song, what's that song they say? Don't stop believing. I will play it for y'all, but I might get too hyped. And so, but hey, celebrate, tell that. And so let the media pick up on that. Let the communication pick up on that. And so it's I'm proud of that. I was supposed to be broadcasting live out there from Camelot today, but like I said, I ain't even left the house. I'm just not filling up the par. But we will revisit that. And so, because we are collabing with the homeowners and the Camelot community And it's just want to get just right now. It's about getting everybody just getting everybody in a right mindset to work together for a greater good. And so it's I have no self-interest in Camelot except for be a blueprint and also do the things that's necessary for the Camelot community to be responsible for revitalizing the Camelot community. As anybody, if you are from here, Old Fourth Ward, Reynoldstown, Kirkwood, you can go list all of those areas that was worse. But if you look at it today, you wouldn't be able to tell. And all I'm saying is there's a lot of people who was a part of that transitioning out that wish they never did. So Camelot is a prime opportunity for them to effectuate it in the way that they want to see now, that they want to see as a collaborative effort on how to move it forward. Because we are not going to run from the issue of the bodies, the crime over there, as it ends up at Camelot. It doesn't necessarily start at Camelot, but that's where it ends up. And, we certainly want to help them in all that we can do. What we can do is move in a positive direction, but we want to move how they want to move as a collective. And so I think that we can certainly assist them in that manner. Sheila, you have your hand up. Go ahead.
Yes, good evening. About 2 months ago, we was talking about Camelot, and we all agreed on this call that we wasn't going to have a discussion on Camelot anymore. So it just seemed like it always come up, and I'm sure all of us have something we can talk about within our own subdivision, our own community. But you even said that we was not going to discuss Camelot on this call anymore, but it seemed like it's keep coming up over and over again.
Well, Sheila, let me say this. And you're absolutely right. But see, I can't help it, right? Because we have District 5, we have the highest crime rate in the city. They're gonna address crime, right? Get this, but where do you think that happens at? It's like, it's to a point where we just cannot even ignore it, right? And I completely hear what you're saying, but we can't talk about crime and not talk about Camelot. It's like the direct correlation. And when I get the numbers and the stats, I'm gonna just show you but
Councilman, we all have things going on within our subdivisions and within the community. We haven't held not one HOA meeting this year. Here it is, July? We had a schedule to host HOA meetings. Not one has been held this year. They even talk about other things that are going on within the community, within our subdivisions. And that's just, I've just been so disappointed in that we focusing on so many other things, but we had that rolling and we had good meetings going and had conversations on things that was happening within all our subdivisions and everything that was going on in District 5. But we haven't had one of those meetings at all this year.
Ms. Sheila.
Yes.
I'm sorry, my phone had rang, so I noticed you said that it was disappointing, but we did have one scheduled for last week, Wednesday, conflicting schedule, but we have another one. We rescheduled for this Wednesday. If you're talking about the HOA roundtable.
That's correct.
Correct. And so we do have one scheduled here for this Wednesday. And as you know, it's not turning the a blind eye to other areas and other communities that have issues and some similar issues. But when one community is directly responsible for the increase in the crime rate throughout this entire city. I'm just saying that we might not have to talk about that in the open, but it definitely has to be looked into. As there's, I mean, because we have to stop the bleeding at some point, and this is factual information. But I do understand that, because I'm definitely interested in hearing from all the HOAs and all the communities is, specific needs. And I look forward to that on Wednesday. And I know that you'll be on there. And, but I was just, going to ground zero because the things but to be fair and honest, and we'll speak more about that Wednesday, as the operation of the plan is very robust to include all the communities as to connect. And so we're hoping to do that. But thank you for your comment.
Can I just jump in for 30 seconds on that and follow behind that comment that we have been actually working these past few months to go to each HOA meeting individually instead of a collective. So that was another reason we had not had a group one, because we were going to them one by one. So if we have not made it to your HOA meeting, then please have someone let us know when you're having the meeting so we can put it on the schedule. Because everyone who's letting me know their meetings, we are putting them on the schedule.
Absolutely. Anybody else?
Ms. Perry, your
Oh.
hand is up.
Ms. Perry?
Yeah, sorry, my screen was doing, I hit something and something popped up. I couldn't get out of it. But good evening, everyone. And as a resident and owner at Camelot, I appreciate you putting, mentioning and working with Camelot. I totally understand what the other lady was saying. I'm sorry, I think Ms. Sheila. I understand that. I wasn't on the call when you said we weren't going to talk about Camelot anymore. Otherwise, I would have kind of probably stood up at that time but I agree with everything you said, and I agree with everything she said, and I appreciate everything you said, Corey. And like you said, every HOA should be focused on or some attention to. But when you've got, for an example, a family, you've got 6 kids, and you want to give all of them the attention, but you got one that's sitting in the corner lighting rolls of toilet paper that could possibly burn down the house. You kind of got to put some attention to that child, focus on that child a little more than the others. And that's what Corey, in my opinion, is doing. And we appreciate that. And we know there's some work that's got to be done in Camelot. And like you said, everything that's happening around or within Camelot isn't starting in Camelot. And everything from the top, problems start from the top and go down, trickle down. So from the head all the way down. And you can't really focus on other things going on in the city until you focus on what's going on, what's happening with Camelot. That's all I want to say.
All right, thank you for your comments.
Ms. Thomas.
Ms. Brandy?
Hi, good evening, everybody. I guess I was gonna echo the same sentiments as Miss Perry. Being a part of a community that backs up to Camelot, we can't turn a blind eye on Camelot. We are collective and we are District 5. So we can't individually just focus on our neighborhood because we're all one. So when one neighborhood is hurting, we're all hurting because it's going to impact all of us. So again, like Miss Perry, I wasn't on the call where we said we weren't going to talk about Camelot, because I too would have stood up and said we need to continue to talk about Camelot and we need to help Camelot, because this is one family. District 5 is one family, and we cannot focus on our own individual communities and turn a blind eye to another community.
Absolutely. And Brandon, let me just say this, because you was there Friday. How was the atmosphere electric?
Yes, it was. I had to go to the car a couple of times because it was just too intense. It was just too intense. But to see the turnout that was there, to see the community, to see the children being excited about being out, even got some book bags passed out. It was just great to see something positive in the community, something for community residents to be a part of. It was good seeing the young folks come out, and it was positive. Even passing out food at the end to see folks just being a part of just something great and positive was definitely much needed change and much needed in our area. And I hope that we continue to do positive events like this. This is something that I definitely have been looking forward to being a part of District 5. Because as we all know, we've often been forgotten down here on the south end of South Fulton. So bringing events like this and opportunities for our residents in our area where we don't have to travel, we can actually walk to these events, is something that I'm definitely proud of.
And that's what we want to do, is promote the walkability factor. And that's one of the reasons we want to bring entertainment. We want to bring festive atmosphere. And, and just hold tight, because see, when you look at it from an aerial point of view, connectivity to the communities through trails leads all roads to Burdett. And also too, the Burdett Conservancy is born. And so just look out for more information on that, as it's just difference and the collective coming together, because this is all your park, this is all your real estate, this is all what y'all want to see happen. And and you have ways out there to do it, and get it done and come make use of it. And so because there will be a walking trail coming soon, and just other things. And so that's one of the things that we can do to bring the communities together for sure, as through the Parks and Rec system. And so we want everybody to be involved in that. Okay, awesome. Clyde, you have your hand up?
Yes, I did. Just want to say hello to everyone on the call. First of all, I know Camelot. I just think that the community needs to be involved if they are invited by the residents. Yeah, I just want the people of Camelot to know that you got our support from District 5, whatever you need. Just, kind of let us know. And because, I think we need to be invited, if they really need and want the help, and what kind of help the community should offer. And the second one is regarding the Buffington Road, widening. I wasn't in the call last week, but I noticed the stakes are up, where they plan on taking land from the homeowners, and it's a little disturbing. And I was wondering, did you have an update last week, or do you have an update this week?
Okay, well, Clyde, let me just say this, is that one of the things is we record all the meetings and put them on the YouTube channel. Is we'll put the link up in the chat. Is any and all calls are recorded, and you can go rehear them as on the YouTube, and we'll have no problem sending that to you, so you can be caught up. And so,
And no,
go ahead.
Clyde, I'm sorry, Councilman Clyde, those property owners sold their land, so it wasn't taken. They were
Correct.
compensated. They were compensated. They
Right.
had to agree.
And Al, how long has this been in the process? This was over 20 years ago.
This project was, I think, started in 1996, and they finally funded it in what, 2018, 19. And so every property owner along Buffington Road was contacted by the state or their representative or agent for land, and they were paid.
Okay,
So
well, just to comment on that, your comment, Mr. Farrell. I was at a meeting at Calvary Impact, around like 3, 4 weeks ago, and he was asking, "Where's my money?" The owner, Pastor Sampson, he was wondering if the project was still going through.
the
And
project
so
is,
if they if the people said that they had been compensated already, I'm not sure that's happened. But if it has, Mr. Farrell, when it comes to the HOA at Sable Chase, how much money did we receive?
and Sam, sir, we were actually, if you were at the board meeting last year, or even last summer, we were compensated $42,000 for the right of way.
$42,000.
Yeah, for about 10 to 12 feet of land
And
that is
that
sitting,
check went through.
and the check went through and is sitting in a separate fund in our bank account, because we're going to have to re-landscape that area in some
Right.
capacity, right?
I think that's going to be a conversation for y'all to have.
And we'll have our board
within
meeting on
Sable
August
Chase. Right.
12th.
Right.
Wow.
But you're right. Everybody was compensated. Pastor Sampson was compensated. So it's but I'm just saying this is and they just couldn't give a date, but just I encourage you to go to the link and go hear last week's conversation.
Yeah.
And you can also go over to District 7's office to on Welcome All and look at the site plan and things of that nature. And so because
Okay.
we have to see Paul Denard was on the call, but we have to further that and go get the engineer on the call. So he's going to be better able to effectuate the technical details and scope of this project. And so particularly like the metrics on these start dates. And so we're working on getting the engineer on the call as well. So
And one other, and I'll just end with this. It was kind of disturbing to me that the amount of land they took from the homeowners, but when you look,
not taking.
well,
Right.
well,
We just want to just use our words and right.
purchased, but then when you look across the street where they cleared land adjacent to the rock quarry, it doesn't seem like they took any of that land. So I'll just end it there. And I'll look at the video link.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
But let me just say this: the rock quarry, I think it is. They had to take it all the way from Royal 85 all the way to Buffington Road. So
There's
they had
3
to get the
different
right of way
phases,
acquisitions
remember.
from all of the property owners. And so, because
And
there's no way to expand it without it. So,
and there's there's phases. So this is one phase. They're going to do the other phase going back towards Roosevelt Highway. Everything's going to be uniform along the whole Buffington Road corridor. It's going to be bike lanes. I think the sidewalks are going to be 8 feet instead of like 4 feet or whatever they are right now. I can't remember. So they're going to have to widen the bridges across South Fulton Parkway as well as 85. So that's it's two, I want to say it's 2 phases at minimum, but it may be 3. So I think this is just this is like the phase 1 of it. They're trying to get this part done, and then they're gonna start working on the other end. But between here and there, I mean, you can also go to the GDOT website, pull up the project, you can see the different phases that it's in, so as well. So
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that dialogue. Tabitha Rowe, you have your hand up, please.
I
And
think
can I introduce Tabitha Rowe? She is the president of Camelot's HOA. So just want to get that back to her.
sorry. Hi, everybody. I'm a little late coming onto the call. And I just basically want to thank everybody for upholding Camelot. We have a serious struggle going on there, but we are the majority of the taxpayers. We have 300 and something units, and our people pay taxes, they're law-abiding citizens, and we do need help. I'm the first to say it. I can piggyback off of Kandia tonight. A lot of good things are at Camelot, and we want it to get back to the way that it used to be, if not better. And I am very, very pleased with the things that Corey and his crew are doing for Camelot. It means a lot, because sometimes I feel like we've been left out to hang to dry. So all of that means a lot. And for those who are supporting us, thank you again. This too shall pass, and we will get our community back. And not only that, we will come back. It's better than ever before. So just please keep us in your prayers and support us in any way that you can. And we have some things coming that Corey is going to do a community day. Not sure of all the dates yet. We had a tentative date. And we will keep everybody informed on whatever the date may be. And we just want to move forward and make this a better community. And thank you again.
No problem. And then you recently added some signs up at Camelot too, right? And so, because they were talking about more police involvement, do you want to speak to that? And what's the desired outcome and metric for that?
Well, I will just be perfectly honest. Where it comes to police participation, we get some of it, but not what we need. We need hardcore, old-fashioned policing at Camelot to get rid of some of the things that we have going on. We're trying, as we speak, to set up a meeting with Chief, Code Enforcement, and Reeves and ourselves. That is a must, so that they can understand that, I looked up, and all of the money that's spent whenever there's a fatality, is ridiculous. When if we had good, regular, hard policing, we wouldn't be having the fatalities, because all of these undesirables would be gone. But, it was very amazing to see 30 plus police cars a few weeks back. But yet, when we need you to come and secure things and straighten stuff out, we don't have the presence. So it did let me know that they're able to do it. That is one thing. But we need that on a regular basis. We need help at Camelot. And to go back to the signs that Corey is speaking of, we recently put up some no trespassing signs and private property. As you all know, we are plagued with dumpers. And they have done it for so long that they feel like if they say that they live in the neighborhood, that validates it. It does not. Just a few weeks ago, and I kid you not, these numbers are very real. We took away 20,000 pounds of furniture. I mean, that's ridiculous. All in one day. And we still had 3 dumpster sites left with furniture on them. We called the police about a car that has been stolen forever. He looked at the car and basically said, what do you want us to do? It looks like a chop shop out here anyway. That's not the answer that we're looking for. We're not. We're looking for help by any means necessary, and not for someone to give us a sarcastic answer or answer that we're not looking for. So we hope that the signs will at least aid us in making some arrests, because in the past it has always been the excuse of we are private property. That is no excuse not to make arrests, none whatsoever. So that's what we're plagued with. And Corey thinks that, and I agree, that these signs should help.
Ma'am, this is Alejandro Farrell. I'm the Director of Code Enforcement in Stonecrest. Give me a call, because I have a community that I have in court right now for very similar issues, and and where I'm at. So, just give me a call and see what we can do. See where I can give some of my professional insight as to some things that may help. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Al. And I will group text y'all, and so as text you your number, and that's what I'm talking about. And so it's and this is just connectivity and bringing solutions to issues, and for this is every community. Is Camelot just the topic? I know that we just can't just not do it, but whatever's in your community, we'll address the same thing in the same manner. And so, because we're all equal, it's just, one is just exacerbated to a point that we just, I'm just not going to ignore it and not when we can have collaborations of mindsets who have proven solutions to have an achievable outcome for the betterment of the city, right? And so but let's continue down there. Thank you so much for your assistance and willing to assist out. Jane, go ahead. You have your hand up.
That's it.
Yes, thank you, Councilman. So I just want to commend, the president of Camelot, and also to let her know too, like she's not the Lone Ranger here. Last night we had a party in this community, Brentwood Place, that's right here on Flash Hills Road, on Shenfield Lane, and cars could not even get through because of where this party was being held. Police was called time and time and time again. No one ever came. And we just had to manage the best way we could in order to get in and out of this subdivision.
What were they
And
celebrating?
also, I have no idea, but they was right here on this corner. We live on the main street in this Shenfield Lane.
Yes, ma'am.
And the party was right in the front of the property, and cars could not get around the curve. And if first of all, they fly up and down this street just like it's a racetrack, and it's a curve coming into the streets. So when you come down kind of fast and the other car is on the other side of the road, you may not even be able to get over quick enough. So for them to have a party to be right there on the main street was kind of ridiculous. And then for them to be parked on some of the other sides of the street was parked like cars parked parallel to each other. So it was just difficult. And we never got a police officer out here.
Right. Well,
So
one thing that I think that is, could be addressed is, as well as with the community, is this is very, 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 very important. Is when you have a party like that, please plan ahead.
Right.
Because I'm gonna tell you why on Shenfield Lane, and it's not just to Shenfield Lane. Older communities don't really experience this. But if you park on both sides of the streets, a fire truck come down there, get this, it's over. As seconds matter,
I know, and
they're not
those
gonna
are
be able
some
to
of the
get through.
complaints that we've had, because there's supposed to be an ordinance where, especially if your street is not a certain distance or width, then you're not supposed to be able to park even on that street in the first place. And we have no parking signs on that street. But also I wanted to ask the young lady, I think her name is Miss Tabitha, right? So, in order to help Camelot, and y'all mentioned the signs, so I think that was good. That was going to be a question. But also, what else is it that Camelot, is doing? Like, do they have like a gate, in Camelot? Is there a gate? Maybe, if there was like a security gate or something, that we could work on getting a security gate up and like start cutting the grass. I mean, I don't even really know how it looks over there at Camelot, except for when I go, I think it backs up to that Jerome Road or something, because I often wonder what those apartments were, but now I know what they are. That's Camelot, because the other across the street is where those I think it's a subdivision or something coming up across the street. Is that right, Councilman?
Yes,
that
DR
Okay.
Horton is building that there's some 300 home community. It was supposed to be apartments. And they did change the zoning back in 2006. And
Okay.
against, but however, it didn't change hands. And, excuse me. So now they're constructing. But there is a
Mhm.
perspective on a new senior housing,
Mhm.
the opportunity. And
Oh, is
there's
that what those gonna be?
there's a closed entryway driving on Jerome Road. There's a open walkway
Right.
entryway on Jerome Road. There's a
Yeah.
drive-through entry on Highway 279. And so
Okay.
unobstructed. And so but that issue is very well noted, and um
Mhm.
again, solutions are being discussed. And so but I think that those uh, signs and
Mhm.
uh,
Yeah.
leads to being able to for the police to effectively handle those trespassers,
Right.
and so on the property. And then
Oh,
it's just a lot going on over there.
right. And then too, we were thinking about it one time in this community, because at one time crime was really bad over here. And we've had one murder over here that I know about, and I think that happened last year. So we were thinking about trying to hire, an off-duty officer, just to come through every once in a while. I don't know if they've ever thought about that. Don't know if they can afford it. I was just asking. So, anywho, that's all I have. Thank you.
Right. And let me just say, if anybody heard of like Midtown Blue, and they have, private security where communities hire private security to patrol, not necessarily a gated community, but just patrol the area. I do know that Sandpiper Cove did that as well, and still currently does that. And so along with the camera installation. And so um there are mechanisms that communities have within their own framework uh, to be able to manage that as well. And everything is on the table. I mean, this agenda is if you have an issue, speak your issue. Is like as somebody on this call has a solution, and so is and willing to offer help and towards that. And so um, there's nothing that's off the table, because uh, um, this is your call, and this is the agenda is your agenda, literally. And so,
I hope
um,
that, no, it wouldn't have slid down there because that's not big enough. Yeah.
okay, anybody else is what do we have?
Hey, Corey, this Miss Johnson.
Hey, Ms. Johnson.
I have a question. I was thinking some of Camelot is private owned. Is that right or not?
Not some of it, all of it.
Okay, so if it's private owned, when the people, in our subdivision, our homes are private owned, so we are responsible for repairing our property ourselves. Am I right? Am I right?
Correct. Detached homes, yes, ma'am.
Right. So why the people at Camelot, since some of them are private owned, why they can't repair their own property?
They
Okay,
can on the
so
interior. It's when you
yeah,
have the common areas and the exterior of their living quarters. And so it's because it's a condominium complex.
yep.
And so but
State law says condos are single family. They're considered dwellings, single family dwellings, like the councilman said. But the exterior is maintained by the HOA.
That's what I
The, the interior is maintained by the person that owns the unit. So if I have a roof leak inside my unit that's coming from the other unit above me, I have to work with the HOA / the owner of that unit to try to get that corrected. But
I
they maintain
understand
the
that. I understand that, sir. So my question still is why this city of South Fulton is trying to take on this responsibility.
okay, let me be clear. Let me be
it's a
very
habitability issue. It's a
right.
quality of life issue. It's a
Right.
safety issue. It's a liability issue to all of us in the city. If someone and throughout any part of the city, but if
That's what I'm
crime is the
saying.
highest
So
rate at that area, then you start with the highest area first, and then you work back towards the other areas because crime
I
is, I promise you,
understand all that,
I
sir.
know, I do this every day. I've been doing this for 18 and a half years.
I
And
understand that.
let me finish. I can tell you, even in Sandy Springs, where I have 75 apartment complexes when I work there, you know where 50% of the calls came from? The apartment complexes.
I
50% of calls
understand.
for service,
I
which is
understand what you're
taxpayers' money.
saying. I still say that other subdivisions have problems. Like we have problems in the Fairwood subdivision that have not been addressed.
Ms. Johnson, you told my lights. Look at, I'm working on that. Get it.
I'm
As
not
I know,
talking about lights. We have over there on transit, you came to have a meeting, told us that you was gonna take care of that water running down on that property there. That yet have not been done, Corey. So I am not really interested in Camelot.
Miss Johnson, Miss Johnson, that's a whole code enforcement, and then that was a stop build, and matter of fact, we did call that owner, and we're now looking at just taking the property because see, it's still in the same condition from when we had that first initial meeting, and so they was not forthcoming. So but that's a legal matter, and I'm being honest. To be honest with you, as I'm talking to legal to get it by eminent domain to make it a pocket park because it's just gonna be better served to that community. But that is just a time situation, Sister Johnson. But I have not forgot about it, as because under the NPDS permit sampling, we can find them every single day that they have runoff and soil erosion from that property and that site. And so, but that's a code enforcement issue. But it's being is being handled. It ain't off the radar, Miss Johnson. I'm just saying that's just not off the radar at all. Is because they legit. I think we was called that day and the same day, and they was like, "Oh, we 30 days away from." It's been 2.5 years. But no, but let me just be very clear about this situation. Is is to be perfectly honest with you, there's precedented cases when it comes to municipalities and their involvement with complexes like the Camelot. Okay, and so it's not nothing that I'm making up. It's literally precedented cases. But what we're doing is we're not focusing on the rehabilitation of the existing when there is other opportunities for a public-private nonprofit partnership to be in areas where it can be done, and there is nothing there existing, but something that can be constructed through a collaborative effort in that manner. And so it's a collaboration as city, county, state, as even federal, as and let me just say that there's precedent cases to back this up. And it's also to for Camelot to be directly responsible for what Camelot is doing and can do and leave it in their hands, is this will just serve as a blueprint and a model for them to take on their responsibilities and get back into what they can do collectively in their own community and their own private property. But there are things that we can do. And so but we're not, we're there assisting, okay? We're not doing anything but assisting and, as in connecting the dots to work. So don't, this misconception of the city of South Florida taking over. No, that's a false narrative. As we are literally there assisting where we can assist them as we assist other communities. We as it's no different. And I'm just saying that Camelot just has a gate around it. But let me just say this too, is I just need people just to remember this point. Camelot is as a center point of a corridor this city could not exist without. Camelot is a center point of a corridor the city cannot exist without, and that's just an absolute fact. And so all I'm saying is but other communities that make up the city, older communities, deserve attention too. I mean, we have one of these, a lake they had a lake, the dam broke, and trying to still, but these are processes that just are processed. And so, but sometimes you gotta make concessions. If there's help, you gotta make concessions. But if you're not willing to make concessions, then sometimes that help is just not gonna be afforded. But there are solutions, but it's just what's the best solution for each community, every individual community is unique in its own makeup and to the people that's there. And, because we want a robust quality of life for every community throughout the city. And so we still got detention ponds to focus on. We still got like the easements to worry about. I mean, so it's like there's multiple issues, and all I'm just saying is that they're being addressed as best they can. But as we do depend on staff, and once we have a robust staff to effectuate it, I think that you'll see a lot more activity. But it takes time to build the right team, and so but once you have that, it's you should see the results. And some results you should see sooner, but it's a process. But I'm just saying that, as what was this 3 weeks ago, there was a Stop the Violence walk on Old National. This is our 13th year. And I went and we walked, go from the Commons to Kroger and then back. And so it was a finishing walk. And not 2 hours later, they found the body over in Three Lakes of the missing young man who was wandering around the Camelot. But they actually found the body at Three Lakes, but it was on the other side of the fence, but everybody said Camelot. And so I just want to lay out the facts as they are, but it's just, and then we had 4 murders that week. I mean, in District 5 one is too many, but god dang 4. And I'm just saying that is at some point in time, we're going to have to, where's the investments at? And that's what we're doing in the communities to bring about alternatives that's, working and it's trending in a positive direction. And I will not ignore that. And so, but we're not going to run from it, but we have to run to it and address it the best we can. And so, but it's going to take, as they said, take a village. Get this the village. We the village. So let's be the village. And and so, but and that's my mindset. And so it's just like, but however, I can't ignore the highest crime rate in the city, people. I'm just not going to run from that. and I'm not going to
Yes.
run from the place where it transpires and it takes place. This is statistical information. And as soon as I get this data, I'm going to share it in its entirety. So you see what I see, and just know that people want to feel safe and secure, period. And I want you to feel safe and secure. It's our mission, right? Is to provide excellent customer service in a safe, innovative, interactive, and economic vibrant city. First word being safe. And so people ain't coming where they don't feel safe. People want to feel safe and secure. And I want y'all to have that safety and security. And throughout the city now. And so but particularly in this area. And so
Councilman Reeves, I know we're getting close to the end and Ms. Martin had a comment.
go ahead.
Yes, this is Nancy Martin, Flat Hills Manor subdivision. And I would just, I know everything going on with Camelot, but I would like to ask a question. I'm trying to get information on speed bumps in our community because we have a lot of people speeding, and we had somebody to run over two mailboxes, knock down two mailboxes, and that could have been somebody standing there. So I would like to get some information, if you will, you can email me on how to obtain speed bumps for the community. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Corey, and everyone, I have been at Camelot for a while. You know, I don't live there, but I visited there, and they do. It used to be a premier condo when it was first built, and what they did was they did have gates, and they also had security people. Another thing too is that it is privately owned. However, quite a number of the condos are rented out. And so a suggestion is like some of the other apartments in the Atlanta area, what they have done is they have included a patrol car officer to live in the area so that they can act as a deterrent. And one of the problems with Camelot is that somewhere up in North Atlanta, there is a thing saying, go take your trash down to Camelot. If you have furniture, you have appliances, take them to Camelot and drop them off rather than go to the landfill or recycle them. And it is also a drug area. People over there, some of the people over there who are living are sell drugs. And so you're going to have people coming in to do that. So if they want to resurrect the gates, they can. There is a wooden fence around part of it and a metal fence around part of it. So it's one where things can happen.
Absolutely. And I'm just going to say this too. And so then we'll just leave this conversation. Is you talking about something identical as I have witnessed Ms. Leverett. And so as I took it to this location, it's built the exact same way. I mean, you look at it and you like, wow, it's just, you can take one property and, interchange with the other. Similar issues out there, but they also, and we asked them to, not sit this up, but we asked them, does their board, their people have challenges in the community, as what did they do and what are they doing? What are their best practices? Because see, what we want to do is bring the community of Camelot together. See, is the divisiveness right now is, is sometimes you have to overcome those challenges, but when you realize you're all working towards the same goal, then I think that would be better officiated as well too. And so, but however, as getting everybody on one accord, and as other HOAs know, right? That you have people in office and hold the positions, but then you have another side complaining. But then when they have elections, get this, the people who was complaining out there don't want to run, don't want to step up to the plate. And they realize it's a volunteer position. And so I'm just saying that, is HOAs are an issue, period. And each one of them has their own individual internal issues. But I think that the ones that thrive, they, have a collective mindset of realizing we're all working towards the same goal. We all want the same thing. At the end of the day, we all want the same thing. And so, as I think that that's a starting point for, and mind you, the state regulates HOAs, and so not cities or municipalities. And so, but there's some things that they can do on a state level for communities to, like Ms. Martin says, when it comes to the issue of speed bumps, is just changing from. I think that it's a simple fix. Is just change it from, you said 80% of the owners into 80% of the owner occupiers, and that changes the whole narrative significantly. And there's better control within HOA communities. But that's something that the state level would have to change. And so just adding that dash and that word, and so to owner occupiers. And I'm just saying is because a lot of communities thought it was buying 100% owner occupiers and realized they had 60-40. One is 70-30 renters to occupiers. And so as dynamics are changing in these communities, and so, but we must, look at the holistic approach and how to effectively change the language on the state that regulates it to change the communities individually. And so, but I'm just we're going to leave Camelot for the conversation because I know we was on it tonight, but we said what we said about it, and we're going to continue to work together as a collective and just move forward. But anybody else want to talk about anything else? And so y'all want to talk about how y'all gonna come to the low voltage class, the carpentry class, next Friday Night Live? Oh, August 18th is Taste of Soul Food. As Friday Night Live will end with the Taste of Soul Food. And so being a part of that, that's August the 18th. So do come out and support locally.
I have a reminder for everyone. I would like to remind everyone that it is National Night Out tomorrow, August 1st. It will be held in front of LA Fitness in the Plaza area. They have over 100 nonprofit organizations and for-profit vendors coming out to provide services or sell their products. So it is an open platform for community to come out and just connect with each other, support each other, connect with the police force. There is going to be food trucks. There's going to be bouncy houses, concerts, and performances out there. So it is scheduled from 6 to 8:30 tomorrow. So I hope that we will come out to these events. I know a lot of you come on this call, but we don't see a lot of you at the events. So we need to work a little bit better on coming out to some of these things. Some of you I know by face, I know names, I'm very familiar with who you are, but a lot of you I still don't know who you are. And so we would love to see you. All the districts will have their tents up so you can see all the councilmen. So just make time out of your day to stop by. The Zetas are coming out. I always get this wrong and I don't get the order right. I know it's Omicron, but I get mixed up the order. So, but I do know they are coming out to volunteer. Go ahead, Brandy, say the whole name for me.
Omicron Kappa Zeta. So Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, and the chapter is Omicron Kappa Zeta. And thank you for the opportunity to serve the community.
Thank you. And let me say the Zetas come out to almost every community event that we have had for the past 2 years, I want to say, since I've been helping Councilman Reeves, they have been coming out to almost every event. So I do want to make sure that we continue to support them and acknowledge who is volunteering in the community just to support community events.
What time does it start?
It is 6 p.m. to 8:30 tomorrow night in the LA Fitness Plaza of Old National and Flat Shows.
Hey, Tamiko, this is Chandra. I stated in the chat on a regular basis, but I truly want to thank you and Councilman Reeves for all of your thankless efforts, the behind the scene work that you guys do to absolutely change the optics of the city of South Fulton and help. It may not seem that way collectively to all of us all the time, but if we take a step back and look at where the city was on a whole and where we are now and some of the positive changes that are occurring, you guys are right there at ground level with implementing and spearheading these changes, and continue to try to get we, the community, to take an active participant role and not sit on the sidelines watching things happen. This is directly related to what is going on with Camelot, as well as some of the other issues going on within other communities that we do and don't know about. We are one, and if something negative is going on in one community, just like a cancer, it will not stay in that community. It will absolutely spread. So either get in the fight now, or you will be the one calling later for assistance.
I'd also like to add too, before you leave, and I think that was awesome what you just said, Ms. Chandra. I, as proud as I am, regardless of everything going on, as I am to call myself an owner and resident at Camelot, I'm just as proud to say I am a constituent of, or I guess constituent, anyway, I'm a part of District 5, because Corey, with everything you and the general do, and I say that with so much love because Tamiko is a general, that you all do for not just District 5, but also the city of South Fulton, and then you make time to carve out some time. Do you take time to add Camelot to your schedule? I'm just so appreciative and so proud to say that Corey Reeves is my councilman, and Tamiko Leverett is his administrative or legislative assistant. I really am. I appreciate you all. And for those, everyone gets tired of talking about Camelot. You tired of hearing about Camelot. I get it. And we don't even know where it's going to be 3 years from now. But I guarantee you, whatever happens, I just want to say, I appreciate you, Corey, for standing with us and supporting us.
Oh, anytime, and no problem. And let me just say this. And so, since people, I don't want people to think that, it's just is one area in the community. As I do the same thing as I do with Camelot. It's like I'll pick a day, notify y'all and says I'll come camp out at your clubhouse. As we can, I sit there half a day, all day, more than likely half a day. And so it's to and try to capture a time where everybody can come in and talk one-on-one as a group. If you have a clubhouse or not, I'll post up right there at the front. As I'm just going to HOA tour, and I'll just be sitting there Because I don't believe in just staying a few minutes or an hour. I want to be able to capture people to coming throughout their day. Is you got some people who go to work, some people work at home. There's different schedules, and so is I'm gonna commit to that, do that, and so because it's and I let's have to pick a day. I don't know when. Sometimes we don't get the notifications on when their meetings are or their community meetings, but it doesn't have to be necessarily that. Of just notify the community that I'll be there, or an administration will be there, as you'll have a chance to there one-on-one, and so and we're going to compile all of the data and base it on the communities in that area, and so and listen a session to what communities have to say and how we can work together to benefit each and every community. And the thing it is, and the things that would help as well, that y'all can do within your own communities as well, as we just point out opportunities and assist with that. So, and that's what we do. And so, yes, ma'am. You have your hand up, Tabitha. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just piggybacking off of the other young ladies, just to let you guys know you work hard. I don't know how y'all do it. I swear I don't. And we appreciate it. I mean, nobody can say thank you enough to you guys. Every time I turn around, you're there. And you in the general have been very, very supportive of Camelot. And I know that at this point, without you, I don't know what we would have done. We all pray for a great future at Camelot, and we're gonna make it in spite of the do's, the don'ts, the ups, the downs. We're gonna make it. But without you, it would be a very hard process without you all, because you're active, you're there. You sit in the clubhouse, you do whatever it is, you come when we call, and we know that we have had some people that have not been on the up and up with us, saying that they were going to help, and it was not, it didn't go well, let's say that. But I just want to thank you all again, and I am honored to have your support. I'm honored to, be a part of District 5, and definitely honored to be at Camelot. We've had our growing pains, and they're not done, but this too shall pass. So thank you all again, because again, I don't know how you do it. You guys are everywhere, but you're awesome.
So let me piggyback behind that. First of all, thank all of you for being on these calls on a regular basis. A lot of the things we do. Go ahead, Corey.
In this nation. I'm sorry,
Oh no, I was just gonna tell them a lot of the things that we do comes from all of you being dedicated to come on this call and talk to us, for us to get to know you as individuals, not just addresses, and your feedback. I mean, out of 5,000 people, you speak for the community because we don't hear them. And talking on next door doesn't count. They have to come here or they have to call us. And I have a Rolodex of phone calls from all kind of people from all different HOAs. And we pride ourselves on being one of the districts that you call us and we answer that phone. And I get calls from other areas that they don't get the phone. We are on this call every Monday night with y'all. I don't think a lot of times people see that the time and coordination it takes to pull off the events and to meet with you and to answer your calls and to come to the HOA meetings and to deal with city issues. And so we appreciate that you are noticing that we are in this fight for y'all. So that's my thing, my point, and I want to end my comment on a good note. Miss Sheila is taking her son to college this week. So congratulations.
Congratulations. And remember, we are history makers. And so That's what you can count on, take away from this call. And so, congratulations, that he's gonna do well. Get this, he's one of our next leaders that's gonna come, go get his education and come back and lead this city, take it further. As that's what we do it for. And so, proud to have him as a member of the fifth. Each and every one of y'all, and I love you. You can't do nothing about it. And just take away tonight is y'all history makers. We make history. And I'm gonna stand on that and I'm gonna keep screaming it until I can't scream it no more. So tonight, enjoy. Monday night. Second day of the week. And I bid all y'all a good night.
Good night, everyone. Congratulations, Sheila.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.